Not my girl Lisa. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Traitors, Season 4, Episode 7, and the name of the episode is called The Black Banquet. Listen, this was a good episode. I will say Alan Cumming did a bit much when he said that this was the best episode in Traitors history. I wouldn't go that far, but I do think that it was a good episode, and I am very interested in seeing what is going to come from this. If you would have told me that Lisa was going home today, I would not have believed it. I would not have believed it. Okay? But let's just go ahead and get started. So the episode started off, it was right after the banishment, and Alan told everyone that they're going to have a banquet. Now, keep in mind at the last banishment, Lisa was one vote away from being voted off because Rob actually voted for her. So Lisa, Candace, and Rob, they all talk it through, and Rob says that he could not vote for Colton because that was his biggest ally in the house. And they foolishly forgave him, which is wild because for me, again, it's not what Rob did, it's how he did it. He adamantly said that Lisa was a traitor. It was definitive. And I just would not be able to forgive that. It would have been different if you just felt that you was led astray by what Colton said. You could have did that, but you definitively said that I was a traitor. And it's different coming from you, nigga, because you know. Okay? But again, Candace and Lisa had to forgive him because what else could they do in a moment? They still all traitors. Okay? So they have to do a murder in plain sight, and the murder is going to take place at the banquet hall in the castle. Alan gave them a cursed amulet or a brooch, and the first faithful to touch it will be banished. Okay? So Rob tells Lisa that if he was her, he wouldn't vote for anyone who voted for her at the banishment. It would be too obvious, i.e. Colton. Don't vote for Colton. Don't go after Colton. Fuck up! I'm definitely going after Colton. Candace tells her that it's her decision. She's at risk because she's the one who's wearing the brooch. So now we're at the Black Banquet. Now, why it gotta be called the Black Banquet?
Why they gotta be called Black Eyed Peas? What's up with that?
Okay. Why? Why do everything bad and with a negative connotation gotta have black in it? I don't like that. You know I'm a Black Panther to my soul. I don't like that. Now, everybody is supposed to be dressed to kill. If I had to pick the best dress, I would say Mara for the women in Jam Jam. I thought the Eric suit was very nice. However, I think that it kind of washed him out a bit. Maybe it would have looked better on someone who was darker, but I do think that his suit was nice. I think that Candace's headpiece was wearing her.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest about it.
But what she didn't do at the banquet, she made up for it in the episode and in the confessionals because she had on this red number and she looked flawless.
Flawless, my dear.
I think that Candace is the best dressed woman in the house for me, with Mara coming at a close second. So everybody's talking and socializing at the banquet, and Colton is standing right next to Lisa. And Lisa says that it would be too obvious for her to go after Colton because it will come back on her. Everybody is sitting down and eating, and they're giving toast and expressing gratitude for the experience. And Yum Yum says no matter what happens, all of the cast has a brother in him in Puerto Rico.
Are you sure?
So Alan ended up joining the dinner. And he lets the table know that there was a murder in plain sight that went down, and someone will definitely be cursed to death tonight. But there is hope.
Oh, here we go.
Yo. And two monks appear with two vials of antidote. Okay? Now, if the murdered player drinks the potion, they will be saved. But they only have a short amount of time to choose who will take the antidote, or the antidote will be lost forever. And if they fail to choose correctly, it will be the murdered player's last supper. So the potions are basically a shield. Now, Natalie is the main one calling for people not to get shields, but she wanted the antidote.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Ain't that crazy? She's the main one saying, you know, people shouldn't get shields and saying, we're not going after shields, we're not going after shields. But all of a sudden you want this antidote. This antidote is essentially a shield. It's just a shield after the fact. You usually get a shield so you won't be up for murder. But now, if you are murdered, you can still have life. Natalie was literally acting a fool to where her and Tara both had their hand on the potion at the same time. Like before anyone was even able to agree, she was already out her seat like she wanted the potion. And I was so glad that Johnny grabbed that potion and grabbed one of the potions before she went up there and gave it to Kristen. Because Kristen is very quiet and very mellow. And I feel like, and this is another thing in life, and I've learned this too, you have to speak up for yourself and you have to advocate for yourself.
Message!
Because Kristen, if you really felt that you were going to be murdered or you felt that you did something wrong, you were still sitting there. While a person like Natalie was up out of her seat, damn near ready to fight for the potion. Okay? But Kristen and Natalie both ended up being the two who drank the potion. Alan then announces the Kurt's player. He walked around the table and said, "It was you, Yum Yum." It was very dramatic. Yum Yum started screaming Lisa's name, saying that she kissed him. Housewives don't kiss, but she kissed him on the cheek.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
I'm a Housewives fan. So those of y'all who don't really know, I watch Housewives. I don't really know who any of these other people are except for Colton. I knew that was the Sun Queen that was over that line of women saying that he was straight.
Get the fag off the TV. I'm not watching that.
Who else do I know? I don't really know a lot of people on the show. I only know the Housewives. I'm watching because I started watching because Robin was on Traitors last season. And so that's why I ended up falling in love with the show, right? But there seems to be these myths and stereotypes about housewives in the house while there's actual housewives there. Who came up with this notion that housewives don't kiss people on the cheeks? Who said that? And who said the housewives don't go against housewives? Who said the housewives don't vote against housewives? Baby, please. Please. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. I'm in here playing this game. I'm going to do what I want to do. Y'all don't tell me what a housewife is supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. You don't get to make the rules for them. And the thing is, Jam Jam lied. Lisa did not kiss him on the cheek. Their cheeks touched. But Lisa did not put her lips on Jam Jam's cheeks. She did not.
Lying ass bitch.
But the thing is, Lisa is a horrible actress. She is the way that she has acted on this show, she is a horrible actress. When Jam Jam accused her of being the person who murdered him in plain sight, everybody was trying to tell Lisa what happened. And she was like, "What? I did not."
What? I did not.
And she was not convincing at all. Lisa said that she decided to murder Jam Jam because it was the smartest choice. It was not. It was not your smartest choice. You voted for Jam Jam because Rob told you to go after someone who didn't vote for you, even when he just voted for you.
You're stupid. You're not smart. You're not smart. Oh.
He's telling you not to vote for somebody who just voted for you. Meanwhile, you're taking advice from a person who just voted for you.
Make it make sense.
He just didn't want Lisa to vote for Colton because he was a part of his alliance.
Like what?
And that's the reason why.
That's the truth. And my thing with Lisa, girl, at a certain point, you have to be a realist. And I'm a realist. At a certain point in the game, you have to realize that you're called. You have to realize that you're caught. Baby, you was one vote away from not going home. It was damn near a guarantee that you was going to go home this week. It was damn near a guarantee. Plus, this challenge is risky. There was a chance that you was going to be caught because it was a murder in plain sight. Colton basically told Lisa at the last banishment that he would sacrifice himself to get her up out of there. And so if I'm Lisa Rinna, let me show Colton I'm that bitch.
Bring it, bitch! Bring it!
Let me show you I'm that bitch. At that point, it's fuck the $250,000. Colton will leave this house before me. I would have walked right up on Colton and I would have made him touch that brooch. And when they sent him home and he would have screamed my name, I would have jumped up from this table and started screaming, "It's me, bitch! It's me, bitch!" And waving and blowing cases.
Toodle-doo.
See you later, mama. Bon voyage. Yes. Yes, you will leave this house before me because you made it personal. You will leave this house before me, and at the next banishment, I would have started arguing with Rob Me and Rob would have had a drag out fight at that round table, and I would have signed my own motherfucking name at the banishment and said Lisa fucking Renner. I'm out, and I'm destroying the motherfucking game. Let me show you how treacherous and cutthroat I'ma be. I would have been so motherfucking legendary. It wouldn't have been no such thing as a traitor going against another traitor no more. The way that I would have set this motherfucking castle on fire.
You messing with the wrong bitch, okay?
Y'all have fucked with the wrong bitch. Y'all should have went and played with Candace. Y'all would have known not to come over there playing with me. So the next day we're at breakfast, and the Traitors are the first people in the room so they can have a conversation about what happened the night before at the Black Banquet. I'm not calling it the Black Banquet. Damn that. Fuck that. I'm calling it the banquet. At the banquet, Brenda asked Candace and Rob to help her defuse the situation because she committed the murder by herself. Now, I do agree with Rob. Yam Yam signed Lisa's death certificate. So him standing up for her will raise eyebrows. Whereas Candace, on the other hand, Rob didn't say this, I'm saying this. Candace, on the other hand, it won't really raise any eyebrows because everybody in the house believe that the housewives have an alliance. And my thing is, if the housewives have an alliance like that, we getting these bitches out of here.
Yes, baby.
If everybody just know they got an alliance like that, let's get them up out of here because at a certain point, they about to control the vote. To me, we not sitting in my face telling me that y'all got no alliance. And you know, I'm here for the housewives. I love the housewives. But no, we're not doing that.
We're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that.
Because you've been looked up and it's more housewives than it is. You get what I'm saying? It's 4 housewives in the house. It was 4 housewives in the house. You've been looked, baby. We still got 3 housewives in the house now. Everybody ended up coming into the breakfast room. Natalie is apologizing about the way that she behaved. Listen, Natalie was doing a lot because she thought that she was going down. However, my issue is that she really didn't even consider anyone else. She kind of bogarted her way through to get the potion or to drink the potion. And it just looked so bad to me because she was the one who was threatening people who was trying to go after shields. So how in the fuck is all of a sudden you think there's something wrong with you now, all of a sudden you get to get a shield, but nobody else who think their life and stuff is in danger can't go out and get a shield?
Oh, fuck that.
And that's why when Jam last week, bitch, I'm getting me a motherfucking shield. Fuck what you talking about. Fuck what you talking about. I'm wondering too, because nobody grabbed the shield, but the murder went down in plain sight. But I'm wondering if Jam would have took that shield from the graveyard that Marvin was telling him not to get, would he have still been murdered? Or would Alan have told the traitors, you can murder anybody except for Jam? You see what I'm saying? Jam fucks his own stuff up, bitch. Natalie ain't telling me what to do, bitch. I'm about to go here and get me a shield. It's a part of the motherfucking game.
You got me fucked up.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Now, before the mission, Candace is trying to lead the charge that she thinks that Natalie is a traitor because of how she acted for the potion. She felt like that Natalie was a traitor and she was trying to keep the potion away from a faithful who they voted for. Candace was, clear that she's not dismissing the claims against Lisa, but she just has a stronger feeling for Natalie. Natalie ended up talking to Lisa and Tara in the library, and she said that she reacted that way because she felt like all of the gamers was being targeted. And she ended up saying, and we killed one. Well, we murdered one. I mean, we banished one. So she misspoke twice.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Keep in mind, she misspoke twice. This is the 3rd time somebody has misspoke in the council that at least we have seen on the TV, on camera. Now, as I figured, Natalie is in an alliance with Colton and Rob. Okay? So Eric was expressing his concerns about Natalie, and Mark and Steven kind of agreed. And Rob said in his confessional, there is a chance that we may lose a soldier. And so he said, anytime 2 people have 2 different stories, someone is lying. No shit. No shit, Rob. Okay? And then he started throwing dirt on Lisa to shift the narrative from Natalie. No. And this is my thing. I don't have a problem with Rob in the way that he chooses to play the game or not wanting to help out Lisa because it would look too suspicious for him. But my thing is I wouldn't bring attention to Lisa either. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't bring attention to her either. But again, I feel like that Rob, and I'm still standing on this, I think that Rob finds no value in Lisa and Candace because of how they perform at the challenges. I think for his end game is putting as much money as possible into the pot. So he aligned himself with Colton and Natalie. I do. I really do believe that. Which makes me think that he told Colton that Lisa was a traitor.
Yup.
I think that Colton probably came to Rob and asked him to take him to the end, just like he did Lisa. And he had promised that him being in the game would bring more money to the pot. And they could just duke it out or probably split the money toward the end. Because when Colton came to Lisa, he was adamant that she was a traitor. He didn't ask her if she was a traitor or not. He told her that she was a traitor. And when she was like, I'm not a traitor, he was looking at her like, bitch, quit playing with me. I know you a motherfucker. You have to sit up here and lie in my face. And he even went as far as to tell her, whispering to her, saying, don't cause a scene. I know already. It was because he already knew. He knew what the fuck he was saying. He was correct. He knew already. So now it's time for the mission. Now on the mission, they have to race to the top of the monument and collect as much gold as they can carry. Okay. Now they will, if they deliver all of the gold to the chest at the top of the monument, they will add an additional $25,000 to the prize pot. Now the top 6 people with the most gold at the end of the mission will play for a dagger. Now the dagger is worth 2 votes to use once at any of the next 4 roundtables. I do not like that we are having all of these physical challenges. I don't think that it's fair to women. I don't. I think that if there must be physical challenges, they need to have one for men and they need to have one for women where they're competing in their own on their own playing field. So we need something that's going to make the playing field feels even. Because when they started running at the beginning of the challenge, Rob and Colton were way out front. During the challenge, Rob and Colton are definitely working together. And if I'm the people in the house, I'm definitely looking at that. Baby, what's going on here?
What the fuck is going on here?
Why would Rob align himself with Colton? Rob says that he wants the dagger because he doesn't want any assholes up there who won't vote for Lisa. So he wants Lisa out the house. So what I think that Rob is trying to do is he's going to try to get rid of the traitors and have Colton to come in and be a traitor with him because I think that Rob probably seen that Colton has influence over the house. And he probably could use that in his gameplay to swing votes because people will listen to Colton or they are listening to Colton. Natalie was the first person to make it to the top of the monument.
You a man, bitch.
Now, at the top of the monument, you can place your gold in someone else's chest. So some people give their golds to other players to try to help them make it to the top 6. I know for sure Lisa gave her gold to Steven, and some of the players gave their gold to Mark. So the 6 players with the most gold was Colton, Eric, Mark, Natalie, Rob, and Steven. But Rob had the most gold, so he had an advantage in playing for the dagger. Okay? So what happens is the other 5 players each had a tablet. One of the tablets had a dagger on it, and the rest of them had an X on it. So what was going to happen is Rob is going to be essentially a human lie detector test, and he gets to ask each of the players questions, and then he gets to ask them at the end, do you have the dagger? And he has to figure out who's lying or not. He ended up picking correctly. He ended up picking Natalie. I do not like that if you paid attention to what happened, Colton and Rob was making like faces towards each other, like basically confirming it ain't me. I'm telling you the truth. You get what I'm saying? I don't like that.
I don't like this at all.
I don't like that. And it's kind of ruining the game, honestly. Now, before they arrived to the castle, Rob ended up, because again, we don't know who have the dagger. Nobody knows who has the dagger. Okay? The only thing that we do know is that Natalie had the dagger. She knows that she had the dagger, and she knows that Rob now has the dagger. And excuse me, I probably said Ron's name. It's late, and I'm trying to get this review done. I probably said Ron for Rob. Ron is out of the house, so if I said Ron earlier, I meant Rob, okay?
Class fuck up.
But before they arrive at the castle, Rob told everybody that he's a faithful, and he has the dagger, and he wanted to make a pact with them not to tell anyone in the house. If I was one of those top 6 and Rob said that, I would have automatically knew that he was a traitor. Because why are you letting us know that you have the dagger, but you're trying to keep it away from the people in the house? It's because you're working with people in the house that you don't want to work with. I don't think that was a smart move from Rob. Now, what is confusing me is that the remaining players, and I don't know if I said this earlier, the players who didn't make the top 6, they have to go back to the castle.
Loser!
But those players, I see why they losing the challenges and shit and they're coming in the top 6 because they're not cutthroat enough. They're waiting for shit to happen to them. They're not really making any moves. Like I said about Kristen earlier when we were at the banquet. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say Black Banquet, but when she was at the banquet, she was still sitting in her seat. She's waiting for shit to happen to her or in the house. They're not really playing the game aggressively the way that Colton is playing.
Stand up! Stand up!
I think that they should have been at the house making an alliance against everybody that was going in the top 6 because those are going to continue to be the people in the top 6. They ended up asking Steve what happened and who got the dagger. Steve told them that they made a pact and they said that they wouldn't share who had the dagger.
Bitch, you better be joking.
Whoever gave their gold in order for the other people to make it to the top 6, they owe the people that gave them gold. I don't want to hear shit about an alliance because you was in an alliance with me when you took my gold and made your way to the top 6. So I think that Steven owed Lisa Rinna to let her know who had the dagger.
100% correct.
You owed her that. Okay? So at the round table, Lisa started it off and she started going at Natalie.
Hey. What are you doing?
I thought that this was a horrible move on Lisa Rinna's part. It was too suspicious. Lisa is easy to figure out. It was easy to figure out what Lisa was doing. All eyes are on her and she's not trusted. So nobody will believe her, especially with Jam Jam calling her out before he was murdered. What Lisa should have done was make Tara call out Natalie. Because no one has a reason to doubt Tara. She's trustworthy. And then Lisa Rinna would have been able to piggyback off of her. But the thing is, Tara is not a pit bull. But we would have rehearsed for her to be a pit bull.
I need to teach you how to be a better pit bull.
You would have bit that day. You would have bit that day. But the thing again with Tara is that some people probably won't believe her because remember, she was fighting with Natalie for that potion. They both had their hands on the potion. But again, nobody is thinking that Tara is a traitor. Her name hasn't been, I don't even think that she's even been voted for at the round table. So nobody would have thought anything of her and they wouldn't have thought that she had a reason to lie. If they did think it over the potion, they still would have believed her over Lisa Rinna. Now, Natalie slipped up. Natalie said that she didn't remember the slip ups and they're going to be mess ups. And you're correct, Natalie. But the thing with Natalie, with you is you're the same person who questioned Portia slipping up.
You did.
When Portia said that she was just trying to think of playing the game as a traitor, and that's why she misspoke, Natalie said, but if I was a faithful, I wouldn't think of trying to play the game as a traitor. So the same can be applied here, right? And I'm not going to give Natalie too much because she didn't actually vote for Portia. She voted for Donna. She didn't really hold it against Portia, so I'm not going to hold it against her, but I am side-eyeing everyone else in the house.
I got y'all.
Right? But again, Lisa is the one who brought the information. Tara agreed to it, but I think at this point, people in the house are not going to believe anything that Lisa got to say. Now, Natalie did a great job at deflecting everything back to Lisa. She told Lisa, you don't care. You're just trying to get the heat off of you, honey. You don't care about the faithfuls in this game. And again, Lisa is a horrible actress. So Colton tried to get, the heat up off of his girl. He wanted to bring it back to Lisa. And he asked Lisa, why would Jam Jam go against you so aggressively? And Lisa Rinna said she didn't know. Mara jumped in. Mara said that she's sure that Lisa kissed Jam Jam. She said because she remembered thinking that she hoped Lisa doesn't kiss her and put her lip combo on her face. Okay?
Bitch, you're lying!
Then Dorinda jumped in, baby. Dorinda said, I was there because I was excited to see Lisa and she air kissed me and she definitely air kissed you. Dorinda went on to say, I find it convenient that anytime someone is accused, we don't hear from you, but you end up jumping on the bandwagon. Dorinda is watching the game that is being played, and she's watching that Mara is always voting with Rob, and she's a part of the alliance. I think that Mara is a part of the alliance, and she doesn't know it. I think that Rob is I think that Mara is a part of the alliance, and she doesn't know it. I think that Rob told Colton who the traitors are.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Be very clear.
And they decided to group together. He had Mara and Colton had Natalie, and they're grouped together. But I don't think that Mara knows that Natalie is in her alliance, or even if she knows she's in the alliance.
Hello?
Dorinda made a good argument. Okay, I must say, I don't know if it was a great argument. She air kissed me, talking about Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna air kissed me, and she air kissed Candace, and she actually know us. But you mean to tell me that she put her lips on this man that she don't even know? No, I'm not buying it. That was a great argument. And so Rob ended up coming in windmilling. Rob said that the last thing that Jam Jam said is that Lisa is a traitor. And he said that if Jam Jam is right, I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. I said, bitch. Then Rob went on to say, when faced with disagreement, all Lisa says is, I don't know or I don't remember. And Lisa Rinna said, I didn't kiss him on the face. Then Rob said, why would he lie? And Lisa Rinna said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Girl, shut up. You are making things worse.
You should have just said, I can't defend that. I can't defend that. I can't tell you why he lied on me. I can't tell you why he lied on me. Maybe because Colton was running the game, right? Maybe because Colton was running the game and he was just listening to whatever Colton said, even though Colton has been wrong. So now it's before the vote. And before the vote, Alan asked whoever had the dagger that they want to use the dagger. And so I think that if we're going to use the dagger, I think the dagger should be used before they even have conversations at the round table. Before anybody say the first word, before he say, the floor is yours. Before he says that, we need to know if somebody's going to be using the dagger or not. So Lisa and Natalie are the two up on the chopping block. Most of the people voted for Lisa.
Oh, no.
And Lisa has 8 votes, and Natalie had 2. When Colton voted for Lisa, he said, I'm voting for a legend, an icon, and a traitor.
Oh, this bitch needs to be put down.
Now, Candace did a throwaway vote, and her throwaway vote was for Rob. She said that she didn't believe that Lisa was a traitor, and she couldn't vote for Natalie because she didn't believe that she was a traitor either. Now, Lisa is banished, but before, baby, they was voting Lisa ass up out of there. She had so many votes that she was banished before Dorinda and Rob was able to say who they voted for. Now, Dorinda ended up voting for Mara. She's not voting for a housewife. She ended up voting for Mara, and she actually ate Mara up at the round table. And Rob copied Colton's speech word for word. Word for word. I thought, baby, I was listening to Melania Trump. Baby, I thought I was listening to Melania Trump, baby. He said, I am voting for an icon, a legend, and a glamorous traitor, Lisa Rinna. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention that the top 6 all voted for Lisa.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
The top 6 all voted for Lisa, which is why I say those other people at the house, when they made the top 6, they was feeling themselves. They was feeling themselves, and they made a pact with each other. That wasn't just about their shield. That was just for the game as a whole.
You stupid girl.
And again, I believe that Rob tried to do that pact. These are the strongest people in the house. We're going to try to get as much money in the pot as possible, and then until we're the last 6 standing, and then we could just duke it out and may the best man or woman wins. Okay? Shout out to RuPaul.
Silence!
So Lisa is banished. And Lisa got up there and said, I am the most legendary, iconic traitor. Lisa, girl, you lost to me, mama. You lost. Bitch.
I'll die. You hear me? I'll die.
Before I got up there and parroted anything Colton said. Legendary, iconic. Girl, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Now, Rob is upset because Candace wrote his name down as a hint. And I think that what Candace did was iconic. Because what happened was Rob turned on Lisa twice. Candace already knew that he was going to vote for Lisa the second time. So Candace said, I got you. And she voted for him. And so what she did was, the reason why it was so genius, because Candace is saying, if I'm ever found out and they put 2 and 2 together that Lisa and I both were traitors and you led the charge, because let's be clear, Rob is leading this charge against Lisa Rinna.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
It's just looking like Colton is doing it. But Rob is leading the charge. if we're ever found out and they remember that you led the charge, my vote will speak for me while I'm gone. My vote will speak for itself. When they get me, they gonna get you. And see who did I vote for. My vote will speak for me when they find out I'm a traitor and I'm out the house. So if we're gonna blow up the turret, let's blow up the motherfucking turret.
What?
Let's blow up the motherfucking turret. Like in the words of Lil' Kim, blow up spots some bitches because I'm mad. Let's blow this shit up. I'm mad as hell. Let's blow it up. So after the round table, Colton feels like he took another traitor down. I would never agree with that. Rob took him down. Now, Colton feels like he now has good standing with the other people in the house, and now he wants to go after Steven. He just said that something with Steven isn't right. Baby, they are playing in our faces, and you have to really pay attention to what's going on. So what happened was when the top 6 made it back, Mara was in the kitchen, and she went back and told Rob what happened, that Steven said that they have a pact, and he couldn't say who had the dagger. And so Mara went back and asked Rob probably, and Rob was probably upset. Well, not probably. Rob is upset that Steven told the bottom 6 that they have a pact. And so he sent Colton on the mission to vote him up out the house.
I see you.
You got to pay attention to what's going on. Colton is now all of a sudden. See, the thing is, I'm telling you, Rob wants Colton in the turret with him because Colton is now suspicious of Candace all of a sudden for defending Lisa. Stop
Playing in my mother face. I hate that.
Colton knows who the traitors are. There is no way from what we saw at that round table, you just singled out Candace for defending Lisa. And you're not going to say shit about the way that Dorinda just went in on Mara in defense of Lisa?
Make it make sense.
And then Rob says, do you think that it is possible that it's a turret full of housewives?
Wow. Yes.
Oh, wow.
She said that, right?
Yes, she did.
Wow.
I don't like that. That is too much talking. I believe that he already told Colton anyway. Right now, it's just getting sloppy, and I don't like it. So Johnny is now suspicious of Natalie, Colton, and Rob, and Candace lets Johnny know, remember, Rob and Colton's speech was similar. Word for word. The only word that Rob added in his speech that Colton didn't have in it was glamorous. The flossy. Shout out to Fergie. So Candace says that she is shocked by Rob's action in the house and how he's blowing up the turret. And she said that the Christian woman in her is clutching her pearls. But the bad bitch that is Candace is ready to play a motherfucking game.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. God, that's what I'm talking about.
Baby, I am so ready for you to play this motherfucking game. I'm so ready for it, baby. I'm so ready for it. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Are y'all upset at Rob? I'm not really mad at Rob. I'm upset that if you didn't want to play with Lisa anymore, that's fine. But I would not have threw any attention on Lisa. But again, he's trying to get traitors out so that he can do a face-to-face murder and try to recruit a faithful to become a traitor. That's what I think that he's trying to do. That's what I know that he's trying to do. And I just think that we need to be better at selecting the games. And I know that most of the games are going to be physical, but we're going to have to change it up so other people can have a fair shot. But again, with the people who were not in the top 6, I feel like that y'all are just waiting for things to happen to y'all instead of just making moves. But y'all, that was the episode. Again, it was a very good episode, but it wasn't the best episode of Traitors by far. But, you know, I really enjoyed the episode, and I am enjoying this season. And I know I'm enjoying the season because I can't stand to see Colton on my screen.
I don't like her.
All right. But I will say this, though. I am nervous for my girl, Candace. because Rob has that double vote with the dagger. And so I feel like them putting that in the game, it's going to work. You know, it's going to work, and I'm nervous about it. All right. But thank you all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.